The Nimble with Numbers team presents Chalked Blocked with Bo Big Time McBrayer.
I gotta know what a $5 shake tastes like.
That's hot. That's hot.
I want winners, folks. You don't know diddly.
And his partner, Scott Stag Simpson.
Do you know who I am?
Trying to put Tiger Bomb on this jungle's nuts.
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
I gotta catch a glimpse of these warlocks. Let's make a move. Let's make a move. Let's make a move.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to Chalk Blocked, the world's sexiest DFS show for now. I, of course, am brought to you alongside Scott Simpson and Bo McBrayer. This is a Nimble with Numbers DFS production on YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, tickle the bell to get notified when we go live. We are breaking down the Week 17 DFS slate on DraftKings. We're blazing hot. Scott and I are so hot. We're sexy. And this is the slate walk, Scott. Are you ready for another slate walk to give these people some money-making advice?
You know, there's only a few more of these left. And
13 games.
Yeah, next week's the Wild Wild West. This week, we've got 13 games. There's a lot of low totals and then some big totals. I mean, the totals are even lower than yesterday. Like, all of the totals have gone down a point. It's just like,
Yeah.
So, but the Chicago game has gone up a half a point, which is nice. And so we'll see. Minnesota's got a nice big total, too. So I'm excited, man. Happy New Year. Cheers. What are you drinking, by the way? Because I saw beforehand, you drinking some bourbon there? What is that?
Yeah, this is Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. It's my favorite bourbon. This is a store pick from Kentucky or in West Virginia, one of those. I can't remember, but had it shipped to me by a friend, and it's delicious. Woodford is my favorite, like, just drinking bourbon. I have 2 or 3 varieties of Woodford Double Oaked. It's got many woody tannins in it because they oak it twice.
Yeah, what's interesting about them is that they manipulate the temperatures inside their fermenting. I guess where it kind of ages. Their aging barn where we went in there.
It's called a Rick Shack or a Rick
Shack. Yeah. It's cool because they can manipulate the temperatures to have it go in and out of those casks more in the 7-year cycle than you would in a normal. So smart people. I'm drinking from the Nashville Barrel Company, straight bourbon whiskey. It's a charity barrel, and it is for Hope for Henry. Oh, I'm blocking.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hope for Henry.
That is awesome.
We bought this while we were at the last event. Yeah, and if you don't know Hope for Henry, they are an organization that helps families by connecting with hospitals and doing patient programs to support kids who are going through cancer. And they're one of the best organizations around. And I didn't know this until this year. They don't individually reach out to people. They go to places. They were not even in our hospital. We just met somebody who was friends with somebody who was friends with the person who founded this, Lori Strong, and they treated us like we were family. So we weren't even in the program. We were like outside the program. So these people are great. And so, you know.
And of course, your little girl, London, kicked cancer's ass. Like, she took leukemia and put it in a chokehold and just went, bow.
Right.
So yeah,
right.
Hope for Henry. I saw what they rolled you out to Capitals games, the hockey games. They were VIP experience. That's got to be pivotal for a family going through all the turmoil and stress and anxiety of not knowing what's going on with. I mean, cancer just sucks. Fuck cancer.
Yeah.
Fuck cancer.
Yeah. Fuck it. Yeah, indeed. I mean, it's taken people in the NFL world from us. I mean, just a couple days ago, was it Ronnie Hillman who just passed?
He had liver cancer all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, it's a terrible thing. You know, we it's just I'm so glad that London did as well as she did, and not to belabor the point, but take every single day you have and be grateful for it. Don't take it for granted. You never know what's going to change. That's just
every year for granted. Don't take any year for granted. No. We got a new one coming out in a couple hours here.
Couple hours, man. Cheers to the last year. May your 2023 be merry and full of winners as well. So let's share what we've got going on behind the scenes as always. So I'm a screen share up here. And it is Run the Sims. Now, I should also encourage you by coming over here and telling you to go and follow Bo McBrayer. I'll go to my account first and then go to Chalk Block and go follow the newly verified Bo McBrayer. I love it. Let's give him a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
This guy paid for Twitter.
Hey, you know what? It looks good on you, sexy man there. Go follow him. And then do follow our show, Chalk Block. It's right there in his bio. Follow it. There's me and him. We're looking a little tough, but, we're rough. We're good. And then you can follow me if you want to, but, I'm not as cool as Bo. So, but if you want to check out London, here
4,000 of you motherfuckers following Scott and not me. And I got to say, I can't blame you.
You get fire content. Like I'll show you. This is the kind of stuff that I put out there. You know what I mean? It's man on man stuff. If you want to know about my content, it is man.
Can I caption that? Can I caption that right now?
Please do it right now. I love it.
It's when you're watching the Westminster Dog Show after eating Thanksgiving dinner with the fam.
Yeah, with your bros.
With my cousins.
That's so funny. Yeah, with your cousins after the cousins walk for sure. So
yeah, the nature walk.
Yes, always the cousins on the walk. So, we're good transition because we're about to go on the Slate walk on the World's Sexiest DFS show for now. It's been for now for a while though. It's been 2 years of sexiness. So, no shame in the game. Hopefully my money's good. I paid for it too, but they don't want to give me the check mark. Apparently, too much Elon hate on my feed.
Hey, what was funny is it took like a week, and then all I did was tweet out and asking my peeps how long does it usually take, and 15 minutes later I had my check mark. So maybe that's all it takes. It's just I've been tagging Twitter Blue and saying, "Hey, how long does this usually take?" And then maybe they'll actually pay attention to it.
See, I've been tagging Twitter verified. That's my problem, and they
don't care.
Shit. All right, I'll work on that for the next weekend. But for this weekend, we've got a slate to get through, and we've got a slew of games. We're always running the Sims. Justin Freeman, Pat Mayo, love those guys over there. Great tool, really easy to use, and we're going to break it down for you as we go. All right, let's talk about the rostership in this game because, as you can see, Amon-Ra and Jared Goff are popular. We talked about them a little bit yesterday, but that cheapness in Jared Goff. It's. I mean, why is he priced at 5,600? That's interesting in this game. Big game last time he went against Chicago. Bigger game for Fields, though. I want to, might add. But how are you approaching this stack right here?
I mean, I love the stack. I love this game as a stackable game. This is a $5,300. This is a 52.5 point over under. And these teams played at Soldier Field earlier in the season.
Inside,
of course, it was. Yeah, it was outside and windy in the last game, and it was still 31-30. Amon-Ra St. Brown scored 24.8, if I'm not mistaken. Jared Goff didn't have a great game, but that was on the road outdoors, where we've seen his splits at home in the dome. It's a lot better. He's averaging over 20 fantasy points a game in at home. And he's going to surpass 4,000 passing yards in this game for the season. And the two quarterbacks here are the best stacking quarterbacks on this slate. They're just the best two plays. That's why they're chalky. I don't blame anyone for wanting to stack either one of them. Because at this stage, DFS slate, yeah, we want leverage, but on a 13-game slate, maybe fade St. Brown a little bit. Don't go crazy and put him in all of your lineups, especially in a large field tournament. But you definitely want pieces of him because he's going to have a good game. Neither one of these defenses is good, and both of these offenses are much better than they were expected to be this season. Yeah.
Let's talk about some lower priced, Detroit Lions wide receivers. DJ Shark, since he's come back, he's caught touchdowns. 4,300. This seems like a nice spot here. Run the Sims doesn't love him. He's got an optimal level.
They hate him.
Yeah,
he's only in less than 1% of the optimal lineups.
Yeah,
that's not that. There's no way that's that low. There's guys that don't even play that have higher. Yeah, quarterback chalk doesn't matter. Wide receiver chalk does matter if it's a guy who doesn't get as much volume as Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Right.
So, and on a 13-game slate,
possibly. Justin Jefferson,
but it's
particularly.
But yeah, even then, you're not worried about those guys burning you. Like, we're worried about chalk that could burn you. I'm not worried about the sun god burning me against the Bears because it ain't gonna happen.
He's playing against his brother. He's got to show out for his brother. I mean, his brother in play as well down here at 3,600.
No, but they both scored touchdowns in the last game they faced. Yeah, DJ Chark is a baller.
We agree with you, Derek. Yeah,
4,300 for him and 8% rostership projection. That's a smash play, and that's your leverage stack right there. Is maybe even if you're doing a Fields with Chark stack with some DeAndre Swift in there, because DeAndre Swift is at 5,300, and I know Derek loves DeAndre Swift this week because he follows the rule where if DeAndre Swift is active, you play him in DFS just in case. He's that axe. He's the axe in the glass case so that you break the glass in case of emergency.
You gotta have some.
Week 17, we need to break that glass and get some DeAndre Swift blowing up again.
5,300 is ridiculously cheap,
especially against this defense.
You know what, Derek? I agree 100%. He's in both of my builds so far. My one against Bo, the one in my tournament that I do for Chalk Block. So Shark is kind of a mainstay for me. I don't know what people are missing on that. But hey, I'll let him miss. Bo, any interested in at all in anybody besides Shark or Amon-Ra? Reynolds, any?
No, not really, because I don't need to get there on a 13-game slate. You don't have to dig that deep. That's what I was finding because I've built out a few lineups now, and what I found is that it's not that hard to get the guys you want. And the guys I want range from all the way at the top with Jefferson and McCaffrey, all the way down to 3,000 flat, which we'll cover in one of the games at the very end. It's just it runs the gamut this week. My best plays cover all the way from the min price to the max price, and this game you don't have to dig too deep past those obvious good plays, even though there's potential that they could hit. I love both of these Bears running backs at cost because Montgomery against this run defense, this Bears team runs the same split zone that just gashed Detroit for 351 rushing yards. And I know David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert are light years better than Deontay Foreman and Chuba Hubbard. They're better. Quite a bit farther ahead in their advancement. Khalil Herbert's the home run guy at 4K flat. That's a min price running back that shouldn't be. Yeah, Jamal Williams is a good touch. He's due. The due theory. I like all the running backs in this game. You have a two-headed monster in both games or on both sides of this game at running back. You can get there with that. You can get there with the receivers. I don't really like any of the Bears receivers at all, except for Cole Kmet. But even Cole Kmet's getting a little too much chalk for my liking, and he's a little bit overpriced at 4,500.
Yeah, he's a little priced up there. I'd rather have somebody else.
I'd rather run out Justin Fields with Amon-Ra on the other side or Chark on the other side or both of them. Maybe instead of eating an extra 5% of ownership on Goff, spend up and stack Fields with those Detroit wide receivers and then go elsewhere in some other high total games.
Yeah, I like that play. And then if you're going to play Monty at all, he's 3% rostered. I think it's because 6,900 is expensive. I think if he was more like 6,500, because he didn't come off some big, huge game where he went for 25, 26 points.
Because they played Buffalo. Buffalo stops the run.
Right.
Detroit stopped the run for 3 weeks, and everybody's like, "Oh, wow, what do they change?"
Yeah. D, a big Kmet fan. He did go nuclear against Chicago, didn't he? Last time, didn't he catch several touchdowns? If I remember, was it 2 touchdowns, possibly? Yeah. That's a stack. I'm gonna build one of those.
I have that game stack in one of my builds already. Yeah, that game, it's obviously the first one on the slate we're looking at is the highest total. It's going to be the most stackable. It's got the most weapons in it. It does have a little bit more chalk than I love, but
it does.
It doesn't scare me. It's not bad chalk. Like there's other games on the slate that are picking up a lot more chalk that scare me a lot more than this one.
Yeah. No, I like it. Defense not in play. Don't play any defenses from here.
No, because they don't either.
Yeah. No. I agree. All right. The next game, interesting situation here. I've seen a lot of hesitancy in the Jacksonville fantasy community. People who've rostered Jacksonville Jags right now that not wanting to play Trevor Lawrence. He's got the foot, the toe issue. He's a little bit questionable, a little banged up. How are you kind of looking at this game? And is it something we should kind of avoid? Is it something where, ETN becomes more of in play in this? Because Houston can't stop the run at all.
They can't. But a few weeks ago, it was Evan Ingram's game where he blew up. Doug Peterson said he has no intention of resting his starters like the Titans did, because this game doesn't mean anything to the Jaguars. They could win by 100, lose by 100. Everything comes down to next week's game with the Titans. And the Titans decided to rest all their starters. Those guys that are banged up didn't play, didn't risk it. They benched everybody. And Jacksonville is taking the opposite approach. From everything I've read is that Doug Peterson doesn't believe that's the right thing to do. He'd rather his team be sharper and more prepared and in tune with the game for the game next week. The problem is if Jacksonville gets out to a big lead here, which most teams haven't been able to do against the Texans, especially in Houston. If Jacksonville gets out to a big lead, I think he does rest them, but maybe for just the last quarter at the most. But I don't think the Jags are good enough to blow out the Texans, because we saw the Chiefs and the Cowboys fail to do the same thing.
Yeah. Well,
ETN is in play. Ingram's in play. I think that's about as far as I want to go.
We have advocation here for Zay Jones. I think is he 5K? I talked about him yesterday. He's 5K. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. There's some leverage there, but not optimal. But 5K, I don't love Houston's DBs. You can go look at the PFF chart here.
They're healthy. They're awesome.
Yeah. Zay Jones not up here on the higher end, but Zay Jones is a big man. So I'm not sure how Houston's corners match up against him size-wise.
I think it's okay because there's been injuries to their secondary. The one guy that I'm not on is Christian Kirk because of the Desmond King factor.
Not too bad.
Desmond King runs the slot, and Desmond King is spectacular.
Yeah. I do agree with you on the Christian Kirk move. I'm not gonna. I'm at 6,000 too. He's down a little bit, but I think Zay Jones $1,000 cheaper has more upside. Right. Ingram at 4,400 still cheap. I mean, Cole Kmet is more expensive than him. Explain. I don't get it at all.
Well, I mean, him getting the huge game the last time these two teams played a couple weeks ago just kind of doesn't line up with Evan Ingram's season. His last 4 weeks have been on par with Travis Kelce.
Yeah,
and
ridiculously so.
As much as I don't like the guy because he's burned me for years and years and years in season-long fantasy, is if I keep putting him in my DFS lineups and he keeps making me money, I'm going to keep doing it. It's not hard. DFS doesn't have to be hard. And it sounds like he's getting very popular because the guy keeps putting up huge performances.
Yeah.
And Houston is weak when it comes to covering tight ends, especially athletic tight ends like Evan Ingram. We just saw him do it to them. And I just think that if you're going to play anybody on the Jags, I'm playing Ingram, I'm playing ETN, and I'm probably playing a little bit of Zay Jones, even though I'm not as big of a fan as Derek is. I have other wide receivers that are a little cheaper that I think have more upside.
I mean, ETN points per dollar here in the model at 6,400 really is one of the better plays. Yeah, he's even optimal leverage with the the projection at 15%. I wouldn't be surprised if it crept up to 18% maybe. But hey, if it holds, I'm super pleased with that. Do you want to build any stacks from this game, or is it more one-off pieces as you kind of float through the build?
Yeah, I'm not stacking this game. Some people might with Trevor Lawrence, but I probably won't.
Yeah, no harm, no foul there. Let's talk a little bit about this next game and then move on quickly. It's only Brian Robinson. That's it at 5,200. He is the only Washington. I mean, they've probably got some other guy, Jonathan Williams, who can catch some passes, but Brian Robinson, no. Antonio Gibson, by the way, I told people to cut him in season long 3 weeks ago. You're welcome. But Mike told me I was crazy. I just wanted to bring that back up because,
well, he did get hurt. So that makes
I told him back then before he got hurt. You know what I mean? So it's just
which was not a good move. I would agree with Mike in that regard.
He had less than 10 points in all 3 of those games, and 2 of them were against the Giants, and he had 6. So
he was playing through injury in all those games.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You don't need to keep somebody who's injured. So anyway, Brian Robinson,
agree to disagree.
Are you
Brian Robinson is the poison pill this week. Don't play Brian Robinson. He's too chalky. He has no upside whatsoever. This is a smash matchup. He's going to be more than 15% owned in a lot of tournaments because of this matchup with Cleveland. I don't like him. He has no upside in DFS whatsoever. He is a decimal back. He's not going to do it. Everybody wants to say I'm wrong, but I'd be extremely surprised if he scored more than 12 fantasy points.
I mean, he's going to get a touchdown for him to be.
Is he?
No, I'm saying that's what he needs to get a touchdown for him to, the decimal back curse. Right.
And Jonathan Williams looked really good as a receiving back last week.
No, he did.
And Brian Robinson doesn't need to catch passes. He's their bruiser. He's their Isaiah Pacheco. And we know how we feel about Isaiah Pacheco in a much better offense, by the way. It's like,
I'd rather 2 rushing touchdowns all year, too, which is not very good.
Exactly. Because he doesn't have vision. He doesn't really break that many tackles for how bruising he is. He just crashes into the line and falls down. That's what he did at Alabama. The dude would have never seen the field if Alabama didn't have a 1-year lapse in blue chip running back recruiting. Robinson would have never seen the field. We would have never heard of him. He would have never been shot, and he never would have been drafted. Brian Robinson is the luckiest man alive in more ways than one.
In many ways. We have D Brown, who's just he's going off against you in the comments, which I'm glad I have an ally. I mean, what? I mean,
yeah.
But
I'm just saying that the likelihood of him hitting his upside is like 10%.
Well, I think the problem is he's 15% rostered, even though rostership doesn't matter that well.
If he was at under 10, I'd be like, oh, Brian Robinson, not bad, huh? He might get 25 touches, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, just like Derek's saying. But at 15%, I can do better with another running back at the same price, like Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier is way better play than Brian Robinson this week.
Well, we'll take a look at him in just a minute as well.
Yeah.
Are you playing any of the wide receivers on either side? Dotson seems to kind of be matchup quarterback proof. I don't know what you think.
John Dotson's awesome.
4,600. That's kind of cheap.
It's kind of cheap, and we know that McLaurin takes a step back with Carson Wentz as a starter. It's just facts.
Yeah.
We don't like Heineke, but he would force feed Terry McLaurin, even if it was off target, thrown into traffic. He wanted McLaurin to be the guy. Carson Wentz just infuriates me because he doesn't make smart plays. He makes big plays on occasion, but everything he does in the pocket is just dumb. You're like, what are you doing? What are you doing, Carson Wentz? Not a smart football player. And a smart football player would push the ball to Terry McLaurin. He doesn't do it. Jahan Dotson seems to be, like you said, quarterback proof, matchup proof. He's super duper talented. So is Terry McLaurin. But at that price difference, I'd rather have Dotson.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, $1,500 cheaper if you're looking for upside in the GPP tournament. Terry McLaurin, volume-wise, could get you there maybe a couple weeks ago, but I think Dotson now might be the upside play.
And don't sleep on Curtis Samuel either.
Yeah, 4,400. He's right there too. So I'm glad that Big D is pushing back against you, Bo. I need all the help I can get here now that you're verified. Now that you
if he didn't like me, he wouldn't even be watching the show. So thanks, Derek. I appreciate you.
Hey, Derek, just do me a favor. Work with Joe Pisapia to get Bo one of those big hats that he can eat on camera because he thought Evan Ingram was going to have 5 fantasy points last week.
I am pretty hungry. I would even need a hat right now. Get the munchies, man.
Yeah, I know. Seriously. Yeah, I mean,
I like it. I like it, but not at 15%. I know you don't care, but I do.
Yeah, but Bo now gets all chalky, and
I don't like chalk on decimal backs. Just don't.
Yeah,
it's a principle thing.
What about the Washington Commanders defense at 3,100?
Yes,
absolutely.
Absolutely. And he mentioned the B-Rob Washington Commanders stack, the correlation there. That's something that interests me because that breaks up a little bit of that chalk. Mm-hmm. And I might just throw that in there for you, Derek.
Yeah, get an homage to Big D when you win.
Yeah, Derek, I will play a Brian Robinson Washington Commanders correlation stack for you, and I hope it hits.
Yeah, me too. I hope you win lots of money on it. Then you can be like, I was with D all along.
Yeah, what a great idea.
Oh my
Why wouldn't I listen to Derek Brown of all people?
I know.
You'd have to be crazy not to listen to Derek Brown.
Yeah. Well, we're already on defenses here. The Falcons defense is at 2,700 and they're 9% roster. People are onto them. So not to sliding by here, but that's indicative of kind of the narrative that people think Atlanta is going to win this game. They are favored by 6 points at home. You got Desmond Ridder. You've got Colt McCoy. Total 40.
No. Colt McCoy's out.
He's out. Oh, tell me more.
He had new concussion symptoms yesterday. The starter is David Blau. Which actually is interesting because David Blau has one of the most historic performances in Thanksgiving history. That was the game where Kenny Golladay had 2 long touchdown catches from David Blau because Stafford was hurt that day. David Blau is a sleepy little cheap quarterback that you can play in a GPP and stack him with Greg Dortch at 3K, the cheapest stack you can find. And you can build whatever you want around that stack because I think David Blau against this Falcons defense has the potential to get a 300-yard bonus.
4,000.
Min price quarterback, price wide receiver. Do the David Blau, Greg Dortch stack. I'm telling you, it's wild, it's crazy, but
$7,000. It's really
you can get Christian McCaffrey and Justin Jefferson in the same lineup with them.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's some crazy shit, dude. I didn't even think of this. You're galaxy braining me.
Now you build that stack. That's the stack you build on the Run the Sims. I gotta put that. You gotta put that in there now.
Yeah. Let's Blau
and Dortch. And Hollywood too. You can do a Hollywood one separately.
I mean, look at this one though. It's 7,000. That is crazy.
So awesome.
I hope they're like bunk buddies, from camp, and they're like, we've been waiting to get back together since.
It wouldn't surprise me at all because Dortch was on the second team behind Rondale Moore all off season, and he was a special teams player. But Blau was signed off practice squad earlier in the season, so I don't think they spent the off season together.
Yeah, see that'd be even better. Like we're old high school teammates from Southwest Texas State. You're like, yes, yes, yeah. No, I do like.
I like that cheap stack because Blau is a lot better at passing the ball than Trace McSorley. Ideally, you want to have
a DB back number, a defensive back number on his jersey. McSorley.
You want Colt McCoy ideally for Hopkins, but both of those guys are out now. Hopkins being out with McCoy being out, then you have all these cheap little wide like Marquise Brown at 5,500 is dirt cheap.
That's a good play. That's a good play. I had to put him in too. Yeah,
and Algier for sure. Oh, I love Algier this week. What a price!
Oh, the London stack too. Yeah.
Yep. I did predict that London would have himself a day in my hot takes article.
That's Cordero. God bless you, Cordero. You're trying to sneak in on me, you motherfucker.
Cordero, you got demoted, fool. Did nobody tell you? Did nobody tell Cordero that Tyler got the job?
No, but
because he's a rookie at the end of the year, and
we're not there yet. It's all the way down here, but yeah, people are losing their jobs to bonuses in some of these situations here. Not great. Not great.
It happens.
It does. Yeah. Okay. Let's jump to a game that I predict, and you kind of agree with me, is going to be a bloodbath in the favor of the Kansas City Chiefs here. 12.5. People are rallying around Russell Wilson, though. They're rallying. I heard the cries.
Well, I get his teammates rallying around him for the defamation. The slander on his personality went too far. I'll agree with that. I don't like the guy. I don't want to listen to him talk. I don't like the way he carries himself. He's a diva. Quarterbacks aren't supposed to be divas. That's a wide receiver thing. That's a cornerback. That's a running back or divas. Quarterbacks can't be divas. And Russell Wilson is a diva. Like his wife is a real diva and deserves to be, but he doesn't have to be just like his wife.
I think he's a homeschool diva though, because like he's so awkward. He's so awkward.
Fake. He's just fake.
It's just not genuine. Whereas you can see that Aaron Rodgers,
but as a football player,
kind of a dick,
we can criticize Russell Wilson for all we want as a football player because he has stunk it up this year.
Yeah, he's played terrible. So And when I went on Fantasy Pros this week, my bet is the under 220 and a hook, because Kansas City at home, it plays better defensively against the pass. They give up about 206 yards per game. So I'm fading Denver, except for maybe Jerry Jeudy, who the Sims do like. Talking about Jeudy here. He's
Jeudy is a master separator out of the slot and seems to be the only guy that Russell Wilson can see.
Oh, that's funny. Only guy you can see.
Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just coincidence.
Right.
But Jerry Jeudy is open enough where Russell Wilson can see him. Cortland Sutton isn't ever open. He covers himself, even though he's 6'4". He's always covered. And Greg Dortch is open, but Russell can't see him. He can't see the waving locks in the mile-high air. But Jerry Jeudy running those quick little jabby slot routes and then pressing the seam out of the slot, he's open. And so Jeudy is always in play, especially against the Chiefs. The Chiefs, they struggle to cover wide receivers.
Yeah, I'm with you, DB.
I agree completely.
I'm
That's
with
a
you.
Perfect description. Major
I
weirdo.
think so. Right. Yes. A major.
We don't have to hate him for. I mean, some people are just weirdos, and we don't have to like him. But I always side on how do we feel about how they play the game of football. And for 9 straight years, Russell Wilson was a QB1. 9 straight years. Not many guys can say that. The dude's probably going to be in the Hall of Fame, no matter how much he makes us cringe. 9 straight years of ultimate production and a Super Bowl win, that gets you in the Hall, my friends. And it's going to be controversial, but it's also probably appropriate. But yeah, he's a weirdo.
Yeah.
And he stinks this year. Like just all hell is broken loose.
I think people's acts get tired when you go to a new place and you do the same shit. Then people are like,
or you do the same thing as when you were winning, and now you're not winning, so it's not funny anymore. Like they always say winning is the best deodorant. Well, the last couple of years in Seattle didn't end well because they weren't winning.
Right.
They were banged up and they didn't get very far. And he goes to Denver and it was supposed to be all this great explosive offense with Hackett coming from Green Bay. And it didn't happen. Then they lost a bunch of games. They couldn't even win games where their defense held the team under 20 points. And it was just disaster. What a complete disaster for a team that mortgaged their entire future for this guy.
Yeah. Well, the good news is nobody's playing anybody from this game. And so,
I love Jerry Jeudy. 4% on Jerry Jeudy makes me happy.
I mean, nobody. You can play with anybody you want on here.
You can.
I'm not going to play with
if you're feeling any sort of way.
Yeah,
I love Isaiah. This is the weird thing where I hate Isaiah Pacheco, but I'd rather play him over Brian Robinson this week.
Here's a question for you. Would you play Isaiah Pacheco, Devin Singletary, Aaron Jones, or A.J. Dillon? At which of the two would you play? I'm going to play Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon both. Is that wild of me?
Yeah, because they cannibalize one another. And Jones hasn't been healthy in a month. So Dillon, I have as a top 5 running back this week. I think he goes ballistic. But then I think your other Singletary probably, because he's still getting enough work in that offense to make himself relevant. And Singletary's been catching more passes lately, which helps. Some of these other guys, like I know you like Jones because he can catch passes, but Dillon is he's just the winter wonderland running back.
So what if in this
cold, I play myself a big bruiser?
What if Isaiah Pacheco in this game? A game where they could be kind of running away with it, gets that 100 yards touchdown.
That would be huge.
Yeah.
Denver's middle of the pack against the run. Where they're really strong is in the back end, but up the middle against tough runners, it was McKinnon last time, but I think it could be Pacheco this time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also touchdown or bust for McKinnon. And Pacheco is more of a decimal back, but if he gets you a touchdown, then
I don't love decimal backs, but I love the game script correlation here, where I think there's a chance the Commanders struggle in their game and they don't get that positive game script that we can definitely get from the Chiefs.
I'm worried about Singletary getting the game script because the Cincinnati Bengals do a great job against running backs. They don't give up touchdowns. And I need touchdowns, and so Pacheco has the touchdown upside, I think, over Singletary in this matchup. But
I don't know. I don't like either one of them that much in season long. But that's a big dilemma.
Yeah, no, it is. So, all right, if we're gonna build some stacks here, they're really cheap. Juju's cheap. Not cheap, but I guess they're not rostered, not owned.
Juju is ultimate leverage machine.
Yeah, look at all this leverage here. Look at all the optimal. Look at all the green here. They really do like Kansas City to blow them out. So let's build a stack. Because that's what we're gonna do here. We're gonna go Mahomes. You want to go Kelsey, and then who else? Judy on the other side. Is that all we're gonna do? A little sexy, expensive stack here like this?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. I want any Sutton. No.
I like it. I dig it.
Maybe putting in Pacheco in here, just a little squeeze in. But yeah, all right. Let's mad dash out of this game, and let's go over to the Miami Dolphins going into New England. We have 2.5 point home favorites, so basically a pick 'em here. Teddy Bridgewater leading the way. Are you big on Bridge? He's 5K. Mac Jones is too. They're both 5K. What do you think about Bridgie?
Mac Jones, way better matchup.
It's true. Dolphins can't cover anybody.
Mac Jones is sneaky, great play in DFS at 5K flat.
Mac Jones, Jacoby Myers, 10K get you that stack. You go down to Bourne.
I wrote about it, and then you could run it back with either Waddle or Hill or both. I prefer one or the other with Bridgewater back there because Teddy's not going to be spreading it as accurately around the yard as Tua.
Yeah, I think I talked about this before on the show yesterday on Sports Gambling Podcast Network. But I like Waddle a little better at his price. Hill is more explosive. He's probably going to get more targets, but man, Waddle just
they're both so much fun.
And 4% roster too. I think that's what I liked. 7%. It's a little more expensive.
I love 7 for Tyreek. To be honest, though,
good. It is sexy.
If I'm doing a $10,000 stack with Myers and thing, yeah, you can stack up on the Chiefs, of course. But and for the Miami game, I'm loving the cheap stack, and you can get even cheaper on a stack with Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne, because Bourne's only 3,500, and he was the guy that got a lot of the volume last week.
Yeah,
Jacoby is great, but he caught a touchdown on a tip tail Mary, which is how he got there last week. But Bourne was the breakout, and he's even cheaper.
Yeah, I like it. I'll give my 1% of the.
Yeah, I mean either or, because the points per dollar and upside quotient for Waddle and Hill is about the same, but Hill does have the bigger ceiling, of course.
I do like adding in some Hunter Henry.
I'll pass.
Yeah, I'll put a little Hunt in there. He's only like 3,400. Is that what he is?
3,000.
What is he? 3,000. Okay, now yeah, that's cheap. That's
meh.
Meh. You get the meh going on. Bridgewater run back.
I paid him, he scores 2 touchdowns. So
yeah, well, that's because God's coming to smite you. That's all.
No, it's because this offense is so terribly designed that they don't even have their tight ends get open anymore. Like last year with McDaniels, at least he got Mac Jones a safety valve that was open on a hot. And that's why Hunter Henry had such a huge week, or such a huge year last year with 11 touchdowns. I don't care. Jonnu's never been on the field. Dude, he doesn't even play for $50 million. Jonnu doesn't play enough football. He doesn't run enough routes. He isn't out there. Hunter Henry, when healthy, starts over him. But this offensive system is the reason why Hunter Henry's been a big disappointment this season.
Well, Matt Patricia's a huge disappointment in general. I mean, look at it.
I made a really I called his shoulders gelatinous in my article.
Listen, you're not wrong there, but if he looks at your shoulders, he might come back at your shoulders.
Oh, there's no gelatin in these bad boys.
Okay, my shoulders are rocks. So
yeah, mine too. Matt Patricia, he could carry like one of those brackets with the water buckets hanging off him, and it would leave an imprint in his fat.
That's not good. It puts the lotion in the basket.
That's okay. He can just poke it with that pencil he's got stuffed up his hat.
Oh my gosh. That's the pencil that Steven uses to pencil in his lineups. Every Bill is a lineup. Yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, I'm not big into the Patriots, but I do like a nice cheap Mac Jones stack at cost against a really bad secondary.
Okay, I put it in. We're only halfway through, and we've only been here an hour and a half, so we got to keep going because the new year will come and go. We'll still be talking about DFS, which is good, but we want to get people out of here. All right,
if I could turn
Saquon. It's Saquon's season. I really do like Saquon this week, and yeah, he's a wet fart.
No, wet fart is too kind. He's a
shart. He's a shark.
He's trusting a fart after 30.
Oh man. Here's the thing.
He is a skid mark on my tidy whities.
Man, he still wears tidy whities too.
He's like, I'm stuck in traffic and I just had a whole pot of coffee.
Yeah, that was good. I like that. Yeah. No, this is good. Transitioning to hopefully
Saquon.
Saquon. I really love Saquon in this.
Do you think Saquon's good at football? Because I think he's amazing at football.
I think he's really good. I think this is a good game for
good
him
football
too.
Players against bad run defenses like the Indianapolis Colts this week.
Yeah, Indianapolis. Jeff Saturday. He should be fired on Sunday.
He should have never been hired.
I know, but fire him anyway. It just would make me feel good to see him fired. Are you going to Daniel Jones double stack this at all? You think Daniel Jones gets there at all?
No.
I like the defense. Saquon and the defense makes a lot of sense. They are priced up at 3,900, but nobody's rostering them.
I don't even know if they're going
to. Last week, he threw 3 pickles.
That's true, but it's also the Colts and the Giants. Yes, it's a good matchup, but for their price, I don't think they score enough fantasy points. They don't.
They don't get touchdowns.
What do they average? Like 6 a game? It's not enough. You can go 1,000 cheaper for a chalky defense that's at least going to score you a lot of points.
The 49ers?
There's a couple of them, but yeah, the Patriots actually are my favorite defensive play.
Oh,
so you can go back to that real quick and see what their ownership is going to be. I think it's about 10%. 10, 11. Okay.
11.
That's not bad.
2,600.
I mean, it's an amazing matchup against Teddy Bridgewater.
Right. Yeah. No, I like it. Okay. I'm moving on because we've got to get to another matchup here. I think this goes over the total just because Philly can still score. They're not bad at scoring. So,
Saints are bad at everything.
New Orleans is bad at everything. But they can run the football a little bit. That's what they're trying.
5.5. 5.5 at home is an easy Philadelphia Eagles cover. My God.
Yeah, I'm on that one too.
I saw it on NFL Network. They were talking about how crazy of a line that is, because the Cowboys line, when they found out that Josh Dobbs was starting, that line moved from like 6.5 to 13.5, and they still covered with a 14-point win.
Yeah. Well, I think that they're underestimating the Eagles as a team, and they're putting too much stock in the quarterback position, which I understand why you would do that. But Gardner Minshew, Minshew
scored 26 fantasy points against the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, he's not
holding them back. He's not going to be as good as Hurts by any stretch, but he's
the rushing upside, the touchdown upside.
He just scored 36 points out there on the Cowboys in Dallas. That in like right off the scrap heap, he's got 1 week to prepare for a Cowboys defense that's been getting after the quarterback better than any team in football. And he did great. He threw a couple picks, but those were picks. Like, one of them wasn't his fault. One of them, it was the Deron Bland, the slot corner of the Cowboys was undrafted rookie slot corner. He has 5 picks this year. He just took the ball away from the wide receiver. He said, "Hey, that's mine, and I'm going to take it."
Hey now. DB going for a Jawan Miles mini stack. That's sexy.
I like it. I like it.
What about your boy Devonta Smith? What about this guy?
5%? Are you? This guy is a leverage machine. Nobody ever drafts Devonta Smith, and every time they let this happen, where he's at 5%, like last week. Or last week he was 10%. He was chalky for Devonta Smith last week.
More expensive, yeah.
Except he blew up. He blew up last week on you.
Listen, right now you're lucky it's 9-7 instead of 10-6, bro. I'll just say that right now.
Lucky has nothing to do with it. I had an afternoon late window rush, and you saw it coming.
You did. I did see it coming. Nothing I could do about it either. You know,
but
all
I know is that
150 points. So I'm not disappointed in my lineup.
If they're gonna give us AJ Brown and Devontae Smith against the terrible New Orleans Saints at 5% each, are you kidding me?
4%. Yeah,
I don't
know.
And Minshew is underowned.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even want to play Gardner Minshew this week. I didn't want to, but you're forcing me to.
Yeah, Slim was the play last week. We did not advocate for paying up for.
No, it didn't make any
AJ.
sense because Minshew's the kind of guy who's more likely to hit the slot and the boundaries with a guy who's shifty.
Right.
Like Brown is amazing, but
you're not going to throw it downfield that often. Sanders run back stack with Joanna. Let's build some of those.
Yeah, do that and do a Minshew with the Slim Reaper stack for me again because I want to feel something.
Yeah, you want to make sure you're still alive.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole Miles Sanders, good play.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit about your fantasy teams, but that's okay.
Oh, he had 21 carries last week against a tough defense and didn't get us there, but the Saints are not tough.
Yeah.
Some people are advocating for Alvin Kamara this week. I haven't seen very many teams run the ball well on the Eagles lately since they signed Sue and Joseph. So no, thank you on the Kamara. I love Kamara as a player, but this team has ruined the end of his career. He's 27 years old, and there is no prospect for Kamara to be a running back one option in the first round of the draft in fantasy ever again. And it's not because of him. He's still amazing. This franchise has ruined the last few years of Kamara's career.
Yeah, it's not good. I'm not a fan of their whole the situation down there.
Andy Dalton.
Yeah, I don't understand what's going on.
Why can't Jameis?
What has Jameis Winston done to somebody down there? Did he wreck somebody's Porsche in the parking lot or something? I mean, I don't.
Even that wouldn't get you benched. Nope.
I just don't even get it. No, Kamara's too expensive. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, he is. Yeah. You can see him. He can't balance forever. He's getting dinged.
He can't carry the whole team on his back forever.
No. Well, good segue to go over to Tom Brady. Speaking of can't carry the team on his back for forever.
I'm getting so much backlash for saying I want to play Tom Brady this week.
I heard that. Who's backlashing you now?
No, because I did the video where the teenager on Reddit posted the teenage girl on Reddit posted a picture of her holding a PS1 console. And she said, "Hey, I found my dad's PS1 from when he was a kid in the garage," and it was, of course, made to make us feel incredibly old as millennials that were born in the 80s and raised in the 90s. The PS1 is epic, but yeah, we were kids when the PS1 came out, and the problem is some of the people my age have teenage or preteen sons and daughters, and they find the PS1 console from 1999, and they're just like ruthlessly making us feel so old. But I said I want to play Tom Brady, and that was the video. It's like when you want to play 46-year-old Tom Brady in a stack in week 17 of 2022 DFS, and somebody was like, "Oh no, Brady, blah blah blah, is not going to do it." I'm like, "No, I'm playing Brady, and this game's going over."
I mean, look at Godwin. He's got a lot of green next to him for his optimal, his leverage.
19% optimal rate. He's going to be in. He has a 20% likelihood of being in the perfect lineup.
Yeah, yeah. And then also, by the way, I think PFF likes the matchups too for the cornerback.
They should. So the only good corner the Panthers have had this year is J.C. Horn, and he broke his wrist, so he's out.
Yeah, they're all here in the good section. Julio, Godwin, Evans.
Godwin.
Yeah,
Godwin,
I don't like Evans
Gage.
as much, but I really love Godwin.
Russell Gage.
Gage, 3,800. Do it.
And they don't like him. Run the Sims does not like Russell Gage. I say Russell Gage and Chris Godwin are both going to get there for you.
So double stack is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
With a cheap Tom Brady, only 6,100.
And Carolina, you don't need a Carolina run back, but if you do, make it DJ Moore because Sam Darnold throws to DJ Moore. We like that.
That makes sense. I mean, why try to fix the wheel, right? Don't.
And how efficient has Sam Darnold been? He's looking for his next job.
He needs it. He needs to feed his big, huge face. That face can't go out food, So, yeah, I don't like any other plays in this game, so I'm going to just pivot out.
You don't? You don't like Deontay Foreman?
No.
Okay.
Do you?
A little bit.
A little bit. You like Foreman a little bit.
Just a touch. Just a touch.
A touch. 5,700 is not terrible. I don't know. I think Tampa Bay's defense comes to play in this game.
Maybe.
I don't know, man.
It's very possible. Carolina's been beating up on some bad teams lately.
Yeah, and the Lions aren't terrible, but
No, but like bad defenses. They've been running on bad defenses.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
That's not bad there. Tom Brady's looking his way.
And that you would say that's fluky for
You paused there, Bo?
such a really fluky. But it was Russell Gage. The dude just gets open in the end zone. And we thought, why is Matt Ryan throwing Russell Gage so much in the end zone instead of Kyle Pitts and Calvin Ridley? Well, it's because Russell Gage gets open in the end zone. And he's doing it again.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that one. Okay. Now, in the teams that have fallen from grace, Seattle is swooning into the postseason here.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson.
There's some teams that have fallen apart this second half.
For sure. Geno Smith has had some rough matchups. He had some cake matchups earlier on. This is a matchup against the New York Jets defense that's just one of the best defenses. So not really playing Geno Smith. Mike White, though, back 5,400.
I did play a prop with Geno Smith in it.
What is your prop?
I picked Geno Smith to have fewer than 1.5 passing touchdowns.
That's a good prop. I like that prop.
Yeah, so if he throws 0 or 1 touchdown passes, I win. If he throws 2, then my 5-leg parlay is dead.
And you have to jump in a river.
Well, no.
Okay,
might jump in the pool tomorrow for the polar bear plunge, though.
Yeah, you know what? It's cold. How cold is it where you are?
Actually, it's been raining for a week straight. It's not that cold. It's just like really, really wet. There's flooding all over Northern California.
That's not great, but it's also you guys don't get enough rain, so it's like a mix of bad.
Well, the rain is not as good as you think because it just rolls off into the ocean and through the Sacramento River. But the snowpack up in the Sierra Nevada mountains, that's what we live on because that trickles down and fills up the reservoirs. And this snowpack has been the best in 3 years.
Yes.
So that's good, but I don't like all the rain because it floods everything.
Yeah.
Bam Knight, yes. Play Bam Knight. Play all the Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
All the Garrett Wilson.
5,100. That's a really good price. I like it. And Seattle can't stop anybody.
That's one of my top stacks is Bam and Garrett.
Well, let's do that right now. Let's build that. If you
That's
build
2 by 0.
They will play. Only
Bam
10K.
And then you can one-off it with Elijah Moore at 3,500 as a dart throw. We know Mike White likes throwing to open receivers, unlike Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson was like the Jets offense taking arsenic all at the same time in a suicide pact because he killed every single skill position player they have. And then you have Mike White who comes in there and upgrades every single offensive weapon. Bam Knight goes from 2.3 in back-to-back games to 15 a game with Mike White. Garrett Wilson has 20-point upside again. The hallelujah. And yes, Tyler Conklin at 2,900 is in a sterling matchup. Do I trust that he's going to actually pull through in this great matchup? I don't entirely trust it, but the price is right, so I will be playing him.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the 2 touchdown upside. We've seen it from before. It could happen. It could not.
We will say our prayers that our $2,900 tight end will score a touchdown.
Yeah, and look at the 2,800 here, too. This is nice. I'm not going to hate on this either. So only 7% projected rostership. That's not bad. Yeah, Zach Wilson is terrible. I agree with you, D. You're preaching to the Garrett Choir fan, the Garrett Wilson fan club over here. We've been all over Wilson, Yeah, they are. They're trash and a half against them. They actually rank, I believe, 31st. They give up over 17 points per game, 8 touchdowns, and 69 receptions. So Noise. Dying here. Sorry about that, Bo. Anything else from this game before we go to San Francisco? Bo's gone. Oh, no, and I'm coughing. Give me a second. Terrible time to have a coughing fit right when Bo fell off. Well, what are you going to do? Bo got frozen. California, the floods have come for him. So, all right, I'm not playing any other place in this game. All right, let's go over to the Niners over in Vegas. Christian McCaffrey, 23% rostered. I understand why, but I'm gonna lean George Kittle in this matchup. 5,900 for Kittle. He's 10% rostered. It's a little expensive, but I do like me some Kittle. I do. He's sexy. You're not wrong there, D, at all. You're 100% right. Ayuk is a legit play. If you know Debo, at 6,300, he's a good play as well. I don't know how this game is actually going to play out because in the Vegas Raiders defense, they're trying to save a buttload of money. And so they could have just lost the whole team here. And this game could get incredibly out of hand. So you don't need to pass the football. All you need is CMC. So I could really see that happening. I don't know if that's going to happen. But on the other side, I don't trust Josh McDaniels at all as a coach. He's propped up Josh Jacobs all year. So maybe you run it back, but I don't think so. Kittle has been doing well. Kittle is definitely in play. I appreciate how he is part of that focal point of the offense now with Purdy there. And I'm playing him against Bo in the clash. So hopefully I can beat him. But with that being said, he is expensive. So if he does not hit, you're a little bit worse for wear. So they have a really high team total and a real low team total for Vegas. That's going to lead me to think that their defense is going to be rostered too. And it is 17% at 2,900. They are going to score. I agree. I'm with you. Hey, there he is. How's it going, Big Bo?
Just a quick internet outage. No big deal. 49ers, this defense I've been checking the ownership, updating it regularly because I do worry about that a little bit because it is such a perfect play. But 17% is less than it was yesterday as people are kind of over pivoting off of a chalky defense. And I will play about 40% of 49ers defense because I still want to be ahead of the field on that chalk.
Yeah. I agree. But it's not good when you left. I was in the middle of a coughing fit right when you left.
So great television.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for those who stuck with us during our hard times.
It started freezing, and I look over at the router, and the light went from white, which is good, to red, which is bad. And
that's
then
not good.
It rebooted, and it's fine now.
You did. I saw you die. Yeah, you did. You died. I was dying without you too. I didn't know how much I needed you. All of a sudden, I was like, the team with the points on the ball score touchdown. So
play the 49ers defense. Don't be afraid of it.
No.
And I like the Patriots and the Jets.
What do you think about this chalk here? I talked about how the game script could be that they just annihilate them and Christian McCaffrey is the main tool. But then also, do you need to use him in this game? Could you go, TDP? Could you do something else? How are you approaching McCaffrey at 9K?
You're playing McCaffrey unless you can't afford him. And if you can't afford him, then you can probably afford a Dalvin Cook or a Saquon Barkley.
Yeah,
I'm a little bit more appealed with Ayuk, of course, but George Kittle's my play. George Kittle has been the best tight end in football, bar none, with everybody at quarterback except for Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo cuts George Kittle's production in half. We saw him have his best NFL season in 2018 when Jimmy G tore his ACL. It was Nick Mullins and CJ Beathard, and George Kittle was absolutely unstoppable. Jimmy G comes back in 2019. The team does well, but Kittle is a blocker. And Kittle's been too much of a blocker and not enough production in the receiving department when Jimmy Garoppolo is playing, which has been almost the whole time the last 5 years. The difference is now that Jimmy G is not in the fray, we're seeing that refresh itself with Brock Purdy. He's saying, hey, I got this freak of nature tight end. I'm going to throw him the damn ball.
Right.
And we're seeing George Kittle just look unstoppable. He's on par with Gronk in the open field as a receiver. And that's the best quality that Kittle has, is he's got that Gronk skill. The two-headed, the blocking and receiving and the run after the catch.
Right. He's on the field
package. And Jimmy G wouldn't throw it to him enough. And now you have somebody else. Anybody besides Jimmy G, and George Kittle becomes a spectacular play.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm going to listen to you, and I'm going to listen to DB, because I like you both.
Oh, Ayuk is so good.
Oh, yeah.
That guy is lethal running routes out there.
Yeah. He's like a Debo Light who doesn't get the ball in the backfield, which is nice. So, ooh, he doesn't. He blocking wise, man, I would not want to have to go up against him as a blocker. Gronk's so big. He's a lineman, But Kittle.
Kittle is technically better.
Yeah,
like I would agree with him. Technically, Kittle is a better tight end, but Gronk is the best ever. Like he's the best. He's not more skilled. He's just better.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 2 more games. Then we're going to get into our head-to-head matchup. I'll get you out of here. Get you back to your families. Because everyone needs to see their family during the holidays. No one's seen them at all.
I'm done. You are my family.
Happy birthday to your daughter, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah. Big.
She shares the birthday with Matthew Berry.
Oh, the great one. I like it. Excellent.
The GOAT.
Speaking of the great one, Justin Herbert, 5% roster.
So good.
What's going on here? Keenan Allen, 15%. I get it. Austin Eckler, he's going to play, folks. I saw it on Instagram. Austin Eckler,
he said it himself.
He's going to win you your fantasy championship. I'm scared.
He's in both of my championship lineups, so I'm going to have 2 entries in that thing when I win.
He's in one of my
Eckler belts.
So. Yeah. I want him to know I love him. But in this matchup,
I love you.
In this matchup, I might have more Cam Akers at 6,100. What do you think about Cam? How are you viewing Cam Akers?
He's top 10 running back this week, so you play him, especially when he's not chalk at all. Nobody hates. It's like I've never seen anybody hate last week's RB1 more than everybody hates Cam Akers this week. Make it make sense.
It doesn't. People are stupid, and they don't get to make sense. They don't. They're not part of the making sense team anymore.
They thought that because he missed a few pass pro assignments and was on the trade block for a week, that he wasn't actually good at football. From what I saw him at Florida State to when he was a rookie before he ruptured his Achilles, the dude is good at football. And he's getting stronger by the week. And Baker Mayfield, instead of anybody else at quarterback for the Rams, has been a godsend for the future of this team without Stafford. Like Stafford will be back next year, but right now you can actually see some fantasy relevance out of guys that we had already given up on. Cam Akers was given up on.
Yeah.
Ben Skoranek was never a thing, even though Cooper Kupp was out. Tutu Atwell had a good fantasy relevant game a couple weeks ago with Baker Mayfield. Mayfield isn't good, but he's good enough to make our guys relevant again. And so Tyler Higbee's back in play now. And it's just, for me, it's just crazy that we're ignoring last week's RB1, Cam Akers, against the 30th ranked running back defense.
People can fade him. That's fine. I'm going to play him.
I would play the shit out of him. The Chargers can't stop the run, and they especially can't stop the run with a singular back that runs between the tackles well, like Cam Akers does.
No.
But yeah, if you're doing, I don't know if I include Mike in this.
Bo froze. I'm gonna build the stack I think he wants here. Cam, Keenan, and Justin. Blam, blam. He's the man. Put 5 in your hand. Okay. Bo's router giving him hell today. Look at him frozen there. Mid thought, eyes closed. Looks beautiful. Yeah. Cali internet, not great these days. At least he's still here. He hasn't been vanished off, You know what? I like Big Play Mike. I've got him on 3 of my teams this year. I drafted Mike Williams and T. Higgins. Those were my guys. So I gotta keep playing them. I can't not play them, and Bo looks so funny too. So playoffs Neckler if you don't play Mike Williams and Herbert, because somehow, some way they're gonna score 30 points in this game. So I like the over in this. I think 21 is a low total. And I'm maybe not taking the 6.5, but I think the total gets over. I think they get like 47, 48 points maybe. Okay, Bo's gone. Just me. Bo, sorry, man. Cali internet, it does blow. Acres in a mini one. I can build that one. Yeah, I can definitely build that in a little mini stack. Take away Herbert. Do a little mini. Nothing wrong with the mini. All right. It's only 12-8. I like it. Okay, last game. So sad that Bo's not here because, I love Justin Jefferson this year. I drafted him, and he's leading me to a championship this very year. But he is expensive this week on Run the Sims. He is 9,500, in DraftKings. Not the optimal leverage, but he has the chance to go off anytime he's anywhere. He's got 3 straight 30-plus point performances on DraftKings, which I do know. And the last time he played against these same, I think it was inside, so it was in the dome, but same, Green Bay Packers. He scored 2 touchdowns and had like 184 yards receiving. So maybe Jair wasn't on him as much, but man, I'm a fan. I think I'm not going to have heavy Justin Jefferson just because of his price. It kind of locks me into I can't have Kelsey necessarily. Maybe I can, but there's Bo. Hey, you're back, my friend. Welcome back.
The storm's crazy. The lights are flickering and all that.
Bo might go out at any moment, folks. So
pray for NorCal. It's wet. It's windy too.
Yeah. We're just talking about how Justin Jefferson, a little expensive, 17% rostered. You like him, but 9,500, a bit expensive. Dalvin Cook, 7K. DB brought up. Nice leverage here. What do you think about Dalvin Cook?
He's my RB2 this week. So, yes, you play a lot of Dalvin Cook, especially paired with one of the receivers for Green Bay.
Who are you going? Dobbs, Lazard? How are you leaning?
I like Dobbs. I like Dobbs better at cost. I don't trust Lazard. He goes through, the guy could set up with so many great matchups in this division, and with Watson in or out of the lineup, Lazard just doesn't do it. Like he should say, hey, the guy's 6'5" and Aaron Rodgers trusts him, but what does he actually do for us in fantasy? Not much. I like Romeo Dobbs. He's a more polished downfield receiver, and he makes big plays. Watson makes big plays too, but he's banged up. And if he plays, I like Dobbs as a healthier option that can go up and get those big, deep bombs, and he actually catches them. Dobbs has amazing hands, unlike Christian Watson.
Yeah. Allen Lazard is the leading point producer for the Green Bay Packers this year from the wide receiver position in DraftKings, at least 100.
Not on a per game basis, though.
No. Christian Watson 12.6 to 11.8. So
for me, I'm doing Dobbs. Dobbs is one of my favorite guys.
Yeah, Dobbs can get it done, though. I mean, he has games of 21, 14, 16, so he's got double digits a couple different times in this matchup. Are you interested in who I am, the Hawk? We'll just call him the Hawk. 54.
Not as much as you, because if there's one thing the Packers can give the Vikings fits with, it's in the middle of the field, because the communication in Green Bay's zone coverage is fantastic. And so for me, I like Hawk. I will have Hawk in the player pool, but I'm not going to be heavily exposed to him because I don't trust his upside. And I feel like it's a little bit of chasing points off last week's amazing matchup with the Giants.
I don't want to be a bearer of bad news, right? But I'll just say, and this is just, from my own perspective here, right?
Yes.
What I like is the targets, right? 8,
oh, yeah, he's getting tons of
9, 16, right? 8, 9, 16. Like, ooh, that's.
There's only a handful of tight ends that can get you that.
Yeah, I mean, that's 33. It's 11 per game in the last 3 games, And so on that, he's got 22 receptions, and he's got over 200.
He's got more catches than Kelsey over that stretch.
Yeah, and he's got you, 60 points, 60 DraftKings points. So I do like him too. I do agree with you. The matchup's a little bit tough, but
Yeah, for me, this game is about playing stars. Like I want the studs in this game, and I want AJ Dillon. AJ Dillon is my sleeper top 5 running back this week. He's just ready for another blow up performance where the Vikings are so hell bent on trying to slow Aaron Rodgers down that they struggle to stop the run, and they're dead last against the pass, but they're also 21st against the run. So this defense struggles with everything. They're just more gettable through the air, but the Packers haven't. When they win, it's on the ground. They win those games on their running backs because their wide receivers aren't the strength of the team. And Rodgers doesn't believe they're the strength of the team, and we've seen him audible to run plays because he trusts his running backs more.
Yeah. No, it is true. There's no lies detected. So okay.
I love AJ Dillon this week.
Yeah, let's build a stack here, and then we'll run the Sims. Right. So
I don't love Christian Watson.
Yeah. No, we like him though.
I like him.
Yeah,
I don't hate him. I think that I wish he had better technique catching the ball, because it's like a toddler trying to catch a dodgeball. But everything else is pretty exciting. The guy's a freak athlete, and he's got a quarterback that can put the ball in stride, which we've seen all season when Watson's on the field. And if Aaron Rodgers can pinpoint where he can get that guy running and not have to slow down, there's not many athletes in this league that are more exciting than Christian Watson. Okay. I hope he plays tomorrow. I hope he's healthy enough to play tomorrow. But if he's not, I'm playing a bunch of Dobbs and a bunch of Dillon.
Yeah. Okay. So we ran the Sims.
139 lineups. Why 139?
I don't know. Let me go back to the settings. Okay, here we go. Try again. Sometimes you just don't slide the slider all the way. Okay, here we go.
Eddie at the top already. Good Lord.
What'd you say?
Eddie at the top already. Good Lord. Look at all the Teddy lineups. What the hell?
I can get Teddy out of here if you want.
Yeah, just drop him out of there. Do we want Teddy Bridgewater in our quarterback pool?
No.
So,
no. I just get rid
we
of it.
bid you for
an illegal formation has occurred. They did not let me run the Sims.
Oh man.
Because I got rid of Teddy Bridgewater. Are you serious?
You need to increase. Just reset it and put his max at like 1%.
1%. There you go. Teddy, you mother. And then Dalvin Cook went to 100 for some reason. Okay.
Wow, you're bugging out.
It's a system, bro. Don't fight the system. It'll get you.
Well, I barely have internet connection today, so
yeah. Okay. Aaron Rodgers, Minshew, Aaron Rodgers, David Blau. Okay, let's take a look at this David Blau. You're gonna like this one. David Blau, Travis Etienne, Miles Sanders, Jacoby Myers, Greg Dortch, Garrett Wilson, Travis Kelce, Christian McCaffrey, San Francisco D. I like that one a lot.
That is sex.
That one is
I
not
need a cigarette.
bad. Yeah.
It's disgusting too. Like, how many like how epic is that? Do you send a gift card to David Blau if you win the millie on a David Blau Sunday lineup in week 17 in the year of our Lord 2023 tomorrow?
You do. You send the blauest of emails.
I'm gonna blow in my pants if I win the millie on that guy.
If you win on the Blau, you can yeah, adult diapers. I can see them coming in,
Oh
yeah. Let's look at this lineup here though. Herbert, Travis Etienne, Christian McCaffrey, Keenan Allen, Dortch, Wilson,
I might like
Conklin,
that one better.
Cam Akers in your
crap.
In your
Let me save that lineup right now before I miss it.
I'm gonna put that one in so you
holy God.
Yeah, that's a really
there is a God. That lineup makes me want to cry happy tears.
I mean, I love the wide receivers
So
right
you
here.
said when you were listing the players, I was like, there's no way that's under the cap.
Yeah.
So Herbert,
Etienne, McCaffrey, Keenan Allen, Greg Dortch, Garrett Wilson, Tyler Conklin, Cam Akers, San Francisco D-Bro. Yeah. By the way, I'm not going to lie to you. This has been a little bit of a hard drink for me, this straight bourbon whiskey. You're
not a bourbon guy.
I've just gotten some residual hiccups from my body. Like I didn't choose to go, right? Where I drink the scotch, my body just goes, oh, it's so sexy.
Dortch, Wilson, Conklin.
So I'm not against bourbon, but this is a little bit, it's a little burny. It burns my tongue. You know what I mean? And maybe I've got something wrong with
That's how you know it's good.
Right. I mean, listen, there's a reason.
I'm still trying to get this lineup here.
It is Justin Herbert, Etienne, Christian McCaffrey, Keenan Allen, Dortch, Garrett
49ers
Wilson,
defense, and Cam Akers. Oh,
Tyler
my God.
Conklin at your tight end. Yeah,
that is filthy.
Ready.
Is that filthy or what?
No, it's gross. It's the grossest thing you ever.
It leaves $100.
What about this lineup? You're going to shit your pants in this one. Mac Jones, Miles Sanders, Travis Etienne, Garrett Wilson, Tyreek Hill, Kendrick Bourne, Tyler Conklin, Christian McCaffrey, San Francisco 49ers defense.
Which one's that?
This one right here. The top one right here. Moving up to the top. Mac Sanders,
Miles.
Etienne. You can go in and look at the Sims. This is all right here for you. You built a bunch of lineups already. So I mean, I came in here today
I want that one.
Build 14. You've already built 14 of these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So, here it is. No, that's not it. Hold on. There's several Mac Joneses. There's one with James Conner in there too. Yeah, these are good. While you're doing that, I need to pull up our lineups here for the Clash. So, pardon me if you don't mind. I'm gonna do a little downloading. So, all right, Mr. Bo McBrayer, last words before we jump into our little Clash. Before we can,
nope.
Share with the people.
We're click the link on my pinned tweet and get a free trial at Elite Picks, which is the DFS optimizer with the best mobile interface. It's awesome. They give you ratings on players. So the pinned tweet, there's a link right there for a free trial of the Elite Picks app. It's a DFS optimizer app with an awesome interface on mobile. Like that's what I was missing is you get an optimizer, but you're on a desktop or a laptop, and even the iPad version doesn't come out formatted well. But this is beautiful.
I love it. I will have to do this, by the way. And do go follow Bo McBrayer at Bo_McBigTime. Follow myself, Scott Simpson, Nimble W Numbers, and go follow Chalk Blocked. Let's get to 400 by the end of the season. We're going to get 5 followers. We can do it. Come on, let's get there, folks. All right. Let me close this window down, and bye. And then let's open these other windows.
Look at that thistle.
This is a picture I took. This is my own picture.
You're a thistleographer.
Yeah, I'm a bit of an arborist. You know what I mean? So I'm not gonna lie, mate. I like to get in the arboretums. You know what I mean?
Oh, you'd love the one here.
Show people what I'm working with. You know.
We have lots of nature preserves around our house, so you'd love it here.
You know, I think I would. You always send me things, and it makes me be like,
You should just move here.
Yeah. Well, my wife might. We'll see. All right.
Oh man, nurses make big money in California.
I like that. Let's transition here. We are in now officially the clash of beards and bellies. Bo won last week by 10 or so. Good comeback. I was winning for a while. I scored.
I had a 70-point late window.
It's nice. It's very nice. Minshew Mania hit. You had Smith, and then there's another player too that you
Hodgins.
Yeah, maybe Kelsey was in your tight end spot too.
Yes,
so.
Kelsey.
I had Hodgins. Yeah, I had Hodgins.
It was nice.
Too, so. Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about this week's because it's 9 and 7 now, going into week 17. You can come back and catch me right by week 18, which is nice.
I have hope. Playoffs. And I'm on a heater, and you never walk away from the table when you're on a heater.
No, you are hot, my friend. And you brought some studs to play, and I brought my studs to play. And
we only have one match.
Only one match. I was going to say, our labs are similar but different. So we have some of the same games targeted, different plays in the games, particularly the wide receivers from Tampa Bay and then the wide receivers from Detroit. So those are kind of where the money's going to be made. And it looks like Bo is frozen again, which is I can talk mad shit now. This is perfect time for Bo to be frozen. No, we both have Jared Goff as our quarterback. You've chosen to stack him up with Amon-Ra St. Brown. Makes a lot of sense at 7,800. Really great cash play. I've got him stacked up with DJ Shark. More of a tournament play, but also just great cash play too. 4,300. I mean, he catches 5 balls for 80 yards. He's already gotten you there. He's triple max. He's gotten you the value that you need, but he's got a chance to even get more than that. He's got 20-point upside in this matchup in a high scoring affair. And Bo is gone. Good. Now I can talk mad shit. So I do like DJ Shark over Amon-Ra a little bit. Not that he'll outscore him, but just the opportunity at the value price per dollar. It's really staggering that not a lot of people are on DJ Shark this week. So with that being said, too, Bo and I both have targeted wide receivers from the aforementioned Tom Brady-led Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Playoff matchup, big deal. They need to get this win. And he is Russell gauging it. Touchdown machine. He's talked about it. All he does is catch touchdowns the last couple of weeks. He's been money for Tom Brady. In the slot, though, Chris Godwin, he does have a matchup advantage. He's one of the bigger slot receivers. I like it as well. PFF gave him a 79 out of 100, which is in the top 10 or so, 15 or so, top 12 for wide receivers this week. So I'm a big proponent of Godwin at 6,800. Look cool if it was at 69, but I'll take it. Bo has decided to go Brandon Cooks on the other side, and I've gone Devonta Smith. So I've got a little bit of a leverage boost there against him. I'm not against Brandon Cooks. He came back last week, played okay. I think he caught a touchdown. 4,800, a really good price for him. He should be up in the 5s, maybe 5.7, 5.6. But Devonta Smith priced up. He's my most expensive wide receiver, and I've been talking mad shit about you, Bo, just so you know, the whole time. Mad shit. No, I talked about how we both have a piece of Goff. Talk about Amon-Ra St. Brown for you and why you have him here, and I'll talk about why I've got Shark.
Well, I know why you have Chark, and it's the same reason I have Chark in a lot of lineups. Price is great, and I decided for this lineup that I wasn't going to go too expensive on anybody because there's so many points per dollar players that I'm loving this week, and that's what I filled my lineup with, where the best guys by dollar that I could project out. And so I pretty much said, hey, let's go pure cash here. No, make it a high volume skinny stack with Goff. Go after my points per dollar running backs that I love so much. The wide receivers, like I still think St. Brown is a volume based elite receiver, kind of like Keenan Allen, where you can trust that he's going to get you there at a high rate of at a high consistency. Same with Kelsey, same with Miles Sanders, even though lately he's been kind of inconsistent against tougher teams. So pretty much just loaded up on guys that I trusted this week so that I can get closer to drawing this thing even.
Yeah. I talked about how Gage.
I love your lineup, though. Your lineup makes me feel something in my pants.
Well, thank you. Thank you. My lineup makes me feel something, too. And Godwin doesn't have the touchdown equity. The
Godwin,
does.
Kittle, and Smith and Saquon and Akers. You're just like, ugh.
I also went with your Patriots defense too, bro.
I know.
I'm
so proud of you.
Thank you. I didn't know they were your defense, but I, galaxy brained it within my own brain. And
they're our defense.
No, they're our defense. Talk about your Tyler Algier pick.
You a star, honey.
I love that. It's named Bartholomew after you. Talk about Algier here because he's been coming on lately. His points per game.
He got promoted.
Yeah,
he got promoted. Yeah, he's the starter. He's the guy that they want to find out a little bit more about. They know they're probably not going to re-sign Cordero in the offseason.
No, he's old.
There's no reason to unless he takes a really sweet deal, but they really want to know what they have right now with Tyler Algier because Huntley's on IR and Avery Williams is more of just a return guy and special teams ace.
Right.
And so they're like, hey, we have Algier and we're going to give Cordero plenty of looks. It's just Algier's the guy now. We want to see what this kid can do with Desmond Ridder, because again, that's another question mark for this team next year is whether they stick with Ridder longer or if they address it in the draft with a higher pick.
Right.
That's going to be the question. So all these questions that are for the off season are sneaking into this end of the regular season for them. Now that they're out of contention, we have to ask ourselves as a team, where do we want to go next year? And can we trust Ridder and Algier as later picks in the draft to be starters next year?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the pay to play right now, this is what you got, right? And 5,300 is a nice little price. AJ Dillon, you touched on it before, but 5,800, that's a great value and allows you to go down and get Miles Sanders. So you've got the triple RBs against me, which it's a killer. It really is a killer.
It's just so steady. Like I feel warm and cozy when I'm around my lineup.
You should.
Your lineup is like lust. My lineup is love.
Yeah, mine's
I'm
a New Year's.
Copy your lineup right now just so I can use it in another contest. Because I don't want to miss out on when you if you beat me, I want it to make me some money on the back.
Please do, right?
Is that flattery? That's flattery, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I mean, I've got a boner right now just hearing that. So I'm gonna play your lineup in a lineup too, because I want to win money as well. I don't want to get my ass kicked and then look like a chump. But
Godwin, Smith, and Chark.
I think we've talked about some of these plays before on the show. The only thing I will say is Noah Fant with no Disley. You could go Colby Parkinson, right? But I think Noah Fant.
Jelani Woods for cheaper.
Yeah.
I like Woods at 28. I like Conklin 29. Fant has that great matchup, but they like to play Parkinson out there. They like to play Disley out there.
Disley's not. He's on the IR. So
okay, well that was recent then because he played last week.
No, he's out.
Anyway, but they like to run. They like to run Parkinson out there.
They do. So
yeah, I mean, Fant is your weakest spot, but I think you could have put Greg Dortch in there, and I've been a lot more concerned.
Dortch, I think Dortch is out this week as well, Bo.
No, he's not.
Oh, okay.
Pull him up.
Okay.
I'll pull him up right now. Dortch. Hopkins is out, but not Dortch. Dortch is full go at 3,000.
Okay. All right. He
had 11 targets. He had 10 catches on 11 targets for 98 yards and 3 carries for 25 yards last week. And nobody hears about
Greg Dortch. I'm sorry. I think you're talking about Dulcich. I'm sorry. I was thinking tight end. No, Dortch. You're right. Dortch 100%, not Dortch.
If you had played Dortch for 400 less, I would have been more scared.
Well, I'm gonna pivot overnight. So fuck you. Now,
you have every right to, but that's not the spirit of what we've agreed upon, sir.
No, I would never do that to you. I respect you way too much to do that.
It would probably work against you. That's just how it goes. If you tinker with stuff, you're gonna undo what you had. Your gut instinct is gonna be changed.
Our only rule is for our show is when we give each other our lineups. If they're too simpatico, one of us will switch. with the backup lineup that we already have. So I'm not doing that, and we never change any of the plays. I'm just teasing you on that. So, what's the line on this game? We'll put it out there. I think it's close. I'm gonna say it's -5 for you. What do you think?
I was gonna say -3.5 for you.
Ooh, so we'll meet in the middle and say it's a pick 'em.
Pick 'em.
So, yeah, I like it. I like also Bo_McBigtime. So please do go follow him, everybody. He's one of my favorite people ever, and I'm really excited to have him as my chalk blocked partner. And here he is as well. Hopefully this is all.
Damn, dude, you left 200 on that too. You could have played Bourne or Elijah Moore.
I know.
Jameson. You could have played any of these guys that were fanned. What are you doing?
I don't know. I'm drunk. I was drunk.
I'll take it though. Watch, Fant's gonna go off now because you're dumb luck.
Whiskey. So
whiskey sounds good.
Yeah. No, I was not talking into my mic at that point. I was down here talking like this. So no. Bo, I love you, brother. Happy New Year to you and your wife and your amazing daughter. Happy birthday to her as well. Matthew Berry, happy birthday. Anybody else we need to shout out before we get out of here?
Ourselves, we're awesome. You should subscribe.
Awesome. Brad, hope you win in the championship game against Simon. Go for it. In all your championship games, Bo, hope you win. I've got 3 of them in your league. I'm favored to win. I hope I win in your league this year. And I hope I get paid. So cheers, everybody.
Safe will pay you.
Yeah, they will. All right. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great one from
Happy
Chalk Block.
New Year.